Good evening, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk about Pu'er City. Yes, you heard it right. I will tell about the city where Pu'er tea is from, rather than the tea itself. I was born and raised in Pu'er City, but speaking of Pu'er, most studies focus on markets or exports of Pu'er tea, missing how real people's lives changed. That's why I chose this topic, how Pu'er tea changed a Chinese city from the aspects of economy and identity. Okay, let's get started from these two pictures. Obviously, the picture on the left side shows us Pu'er tea. But you know what? Before 2003, we locals thought Pu'er tea was cheap and unimportant. We gave Pu'er tea to Tibetans like winter vegetables, never drank it ourselves. Of course, nowadays, some Pu'er tea means global luxury and local pride. What about the picture on the right side? It is the city view of Pu'er City, which was not called so about 20 years ago. Surprising? So, what happened during the past 20 years? How was the name of the city changed and the Pu'er tea from nobody to somebody? Let's go back to 2007. Something big happened. The city changed its name from Sima to Pu'er. Look at this map. I have circled two places. At that time, Sima was not considered as a city yet. Instead, it was only an administrative district, included many counties like Jinggu, Zhenyuan, Jingdong, Lancang, Pu'er. Yeah, at that time, Pu'er was just a county which belonged to Sima. In 2007, the Sima Administrative District got renamed as Pu'er City, and what used to be Pu'er County is now called Ning'e County. Here is an official announcement about the change of the name. So, why did the government change the name of the city? First, tea prices were super high. You can see from the table in 2003, the average Asian tree price costed only 200 yuan RMB per kilogram. But in 2006, the price reached 8,000 yuan. This led to the result of that fake tea was everywhere. Tea from the neighboring countries like Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia could also be manufactured to Pu'er tea. So the market was in a quite mess. The mayor said, "We need this name to protect our tea gold." Based on the above reasons, the name was changed officially, but people felt differently. Older generation were sad they missed history, but more young people were happy because new name means new business opportunities. I don't really mind because many places have also changed their names. Like Jingling was once called, like Nanjing was once called Jingling, and Xi'an was also called Chang'an. So it's not a big deal for me. I don't have that. Um, it's no big deal for me. The price of Pu'er tea had already begun to soar even before the name change of Pu'er. Between 2003 and 2007, tea made farmers rich. For example, the price of Dayi 7542 was only 4,000 yuan per wholesale carton, which is equal to 15 kilograms in 2006, but the peak was 22,000 yuan, which is almost 5 times more than the original price. At least 10 million people in China were involved in the Pu'er crazy. Some people even sold their houses to invest in aged tea cakes. With the sudden increase in demand for Pu'er tea, The problem of supply became apparent. Some farmers rushed to deliver, resulting in badly processed tea flushing the market. A common problem was that some pu'er were not sun dried properly, affecting their taste and aging potential. This chaotic phenomenon led to the crash of the pu'er tea market in 2007. The price dropped shockingly fast, followed by a long recession. So, how did they deal with that? The core was completing the transformation from a financial tea market to a consumer tea market. This process was not overnight, but was achieved through the combined efforts of the government regulating the market, the industry improving quality and integrity, and consumers becoming more rational. With the development of pu'er tea, local people, especially the younger generation's tea drinking habits, also flipped. Remember, before 2000, I have said that pu'er tea was for Tibetans who mixed it with yak butter as a source of vitamin C. But after 2005, pu'er became fashionable. So about 65% of families now collect tea cakes like gold. This caused family fights. One student wrote, "Grandpa calls my expensive tea rotten. I call his green tea poor man's drink." The older generation has kept the habit of drinking pan fired green tea. They enjoy its strong, bitter taste as well as the lingering sweetness that follows, like my dad was one of these examples. The fame of Pu'er tea has also attracted a growing number of tourists to visit the tea mountains and experience the tea picking and the tea making craft. This helped some people, like homestay owner Zhang Wei said, tourists pay 100,000 yearly to take photos, but others suffered, like noodle seller Chen Hua complained. My rent tripled. Now I sell breakfast only to tourists. Sadly, inequality grew. Owners of ancient tea trees became millionaires. Some even drive very luxury cars, but ordinary terrace farmers earn less than 30,000 a year. So expert Dr. Townlin said, Pu'er has fast cars and hungry people side by side in the town. In conclusion, tea brought money and pride, but also problems like lost traditions, of unaffordable rents, and inequality. So, the lesson from this is that the selling cultural heritage must balance profit and the people's needs. Thank you.